Hello everyone and welcome back to Pure Joy Papercrafts. Today I have an Easter project share for you using a PhotoPlay Folio. So it was pretty much pre-done. It still took me forever though. So that's what I've got for you today, and I want to apologize for the lack of videos. It's been a couple of weeks since one got posted, and I apologize also that I've got a couple of late Easter projects that will be making their way. I'm not gonna make some excuses. I think as I'm working to figure out how to schedule in a crafting schedule around my regular life, that we may just have to roll on not a schedule for a little while. So let's go ahead and dive in and let me show you this album that I made using this folio from PhotoPlay. Alright, so if you saw my scrapbook.com haul a little while ago, then you saw that I picked up all of these folios from scrapbook.com. I picked up everything they had available, one of each, and so I decided that this was supposed to be a 6x8 interactive waterfall album. So I figured I would use some of my 6x8 Easter paper and have a simple project out of it. I will say that this is a really great project to not have to think too much, but it does come with a lot of instructions. So it has all of these in here, plus a fold out or a pull out to try to help you put this all together. So it's very nice and helpful. It's got all the measurements. I did really enjoy making this project. It just took me way too long to do it than I would prefer, but that's because I'm picky and I can't make decisions. So this is the album that I made with it, and I again used this PhotoPlay Folio, and then I had in my stash this Simple Stories Hop Hooray 6x8 pad that I picked up at Tuesday Morning quite some time ago. This is a 2020 collection, so you might have it in your stash. It's not too old, and you can tell we definitely were paying some different prices a couple of years ago for paper. So I had picked this up, and all I have left out of this 6x8 from making this project is obviously the cover sheet. I've got two full-size pieces, and then I've got these just like handful of scrappies that I was hoping to maybe make a tag with. We'll see how much patience I have. I'm kind of checked out at Easter and ready to move on to my next project, but I did all that, and I'm hanging on to the scraps not only for a tag, and I've got those 2x, but I have another full 6x8. It's not even open. I tried really hard to not open my other one so that I could just make another project and know that I had extras. So that's what I did. I have this extra one. I have these left over, and then I also had, I think it was like a bundle, because sometimes Tuesday Morning does those bundles. It came with 3 washies when I had bought it, or I had picked up the bits and pieces that came with the washies, as well as the decorative brads and the journal bits and pieces. And then I had stuck some of my leftover cut aparts in there so that I had all of my embellishments in one spot for this collection. So that's what I have. I obviously didn't use everything that I had for this project, but I tried to use a lot. So let's go ahead and take a look finally now at this project. So here on the cover, we've got double matting. So this gray paper came out of my stash. These little flowers came out of my stash. They're kind of like tissue paper flowers, but I thought they blended with this collection really well. I've got a couple of enamel dots out of my stash. We stitched a 3x4 cut apart from the collection on there, matted on blue, and then gray again. And then on the spine, I've got a double matted with the gray and then this Easter paper. This was an embellishment from the journal bits and pieces, and I trimmed it down to make it fit so you could still see the blue along the side there, so that it says Easter. So say you did put your album on a shelf, you would still know that it was your Easter album. And then the back is just this stripe paper matted on gray again, so I tried to keep the gray throughout just to like help break it up. I didn't want to like pick a shade and then that shade would dominate, and I think the gray was super nice, clean against the white, and didn't distract from the paper too much. So for our closure, I've got a double ribbon closure. I know that a lot of people do like double seam binding. I don't have any seam binding. So I just went ahead, if you've seen, I had a Michael's haul around Christmas. This was some of that pink that I said I was going to use at Easter time. There was a pink from that, and then this green was left over from some stuff I had made for my wedding. So I just used some of that on there. There is another spine from the way that this folds, so I double matted. This was just little scrappy green polka dots on that gray paper. This opens up, and the directions do say for you to have this pocket. It may be actually here that the directions tell you. I didn't follow the directions. I followed it enough to like put the structure of it together, and then I was like, okay, I'm done. I'm doing whatever I want. So I put this little corner pocket in here with some little 3x4 little sentiment cards. So just trying to use up some of those cut aparts because I had a ton. I think there were 2 pages of cut aparts in that 6x8. And then I put the little brads on there. I'm trying to learn to use washi. I'm having a really hard time with it, but a little bit of washi underlaying. It says, "You crack me up," with the little eggs that are cracked. And I just thought that went perfect with my egg paper back there. This is a side loading pocket on this page that I also matted, but tried to make sure it wasn't gonna like catch on anything. So we've got those there. You got a pocket here. This flips, and I just left this blank. I loved the pink bunnies. This is probably one of my favorite pages out of this whole thing, so I just couldn't cover it up with anything. Also, it's nice to have a blank page if you just want to mat a photo, not to have to fight something somebody else has already done. So just let that page do it. Here was the other corner, so the directions have you can see it here, these 2 little corner pockets, and so that is where I believe that one's supposed to go. If not, I just made up my own rules like normal. And in this pocket I've got a little photo mat that says, "May your basket be full of joy," blank on the back. I didn't want to put too much white matting on these just because if you want to put a photo on it instead, I didn't want it to be too bulky. So did that, and then a couple of little scrappy tags. So I said hip hop, the hippity to the hip hop, and don't stop. I can never read or say that. And then this was a tag out of the journal bits, and then I just matted it. Matted it with some scrappies so that it was nice, thick, and sturdy. And then this was just a scrap of gray. So 2 little taggies in there. And then this opens up again. And so we've got this page here. It says Beautiful Blooms. It's got our little cute little shallow pocket. Again, I put another little card in there. Somebody loves you. Left it blank inside still. And that's another brad that I put on there. And I did end up gluing a bunch of these down just because I didn't want them to spin around the brad. This one back here, these were just little dot brads. This one actually, like, the brad was in the middle of the flower, and this was meant to be an embellishment. And I thought it went great. That was another one of my favorite pages, was these flowers. So then this opens again. Another blank page that I left to be able to photo mat. And then here, I've got a little pull-out. You are my sunshine. Blank on the inside. And then this is a nice deep pocket, so you can stick a bunch of stuff in it. But I thought that just helped liven this up without it being permanently mounted on there. So if you wanted to mat a photo, you definitely could. Then part of the folio is this envelope. So this is a nice thick chunky envelope, like it's super gusseted, so you could stick a ton of stuff in here. And I did this folio didn't come with any magnets, like none. Sometimes the folios do. This one didn't, but I did make sure that this had a magnet closure. And then I put that decorative brad on there to kind of like hide it and cover it up, but still spiced up with being too much. So if you wanted to put some photos along here and then tuck other goodies in there, you can. And guess what I also did? I am crazy enough to have matted the inside of the pocket, so if you open it like sideways, it's not just white in there. I matted it in there as well. So that is in there. And then lastly, this opens up, so you've got your 2 blank pages, and then we have a big old waterfall here. So our cute little bunny is a magnetic closure, so you can get a nice tight fit on that. So this comes down, And then you've got several spots to be able to map pictures if you want to. You could always journal on this white on the top, or you could just leave it, and then I left this chunk down here, so if you wanted a photo down here you could. But put all that together, made sure I had those little strips on the side so you're not looking at too much blank. But that is what I did with this PhotoPlay Folio. And you can tell it's kind of a little, it's definitely chunky once you get it kind of put together in there. I put a ton in this. So once you get your photos and stuff in there, it will bulk up a ton. But I enjoyed getting to do something a little bit different, not having to make the base. I am, as I go along, keeping all of my folio instructions. So if I want to remake these, I could, because these are not chipboard. They're just really thick cardstock. So if I have the desire to remake one, I have the instructions and the measurements from these. So that is my suggestion to you if you want to hang on to these, because you can definitely have options and know what you're going to do just by having some of this to help guide you in future projects. So thanks for tuning in. Please make sure that you like, subscribe, comment. I have been trying to reply to as many comments as I can. I will link what I can below for you as far as paper, the brads, the journal bits, this folio base, all the goods for you. If you've got any questions, please let me know. I'll do my best to answer, help, all of the above. I just appreciate you taking the time to watch this video and coming on back to Pure Joy Paper Crafts. I will see you in my next video. Bye.